Want to speak real Norwegian from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at norwegianglass101.com.
Hi everyone, I'm Alicia. Welcome to Conversational Phrases. We've found that the best way to learn a language is to speak it from day one. And the best way to start speaking is to learn phrases that you'll use in real conversations. Today, we'll learn conversational phrases about occupations. After watching this video, you'll be able to talk about your job and ask what somebody does for a living. And if you want to learn more vocabulary, phrases, and example sentences you can use in real-life situations, click the link in the description to download your occupation PDF cheat sheet for free. Now, let's take a look at some conversational phrases.
Listen to the dialogue.
Hva jobber du med? Jeg en kunstner.
Listen to it again, now with the English translation.
Hva jobber du med?
What do you do?
Jeg en kunstner.
I'm an artist. First of all, you need to learn how to say, what do you do? That's.
Hva jobber du med?
Listen to it again.
Hva jobber du med? Hva jobber du med?
This Norwegian sentence literally translates into, what are you working on? What is your job? But it means, what do you do in English? Now, how do you answer this question? This is the pattern you'll need.
Jeg en.
Your occupation. I'm an, your occupation. For example, I'm an artist.
Jeg en kunstner. Jeg en kunstner.
Here are a few more professions you can use with the same pattern. Police officer.
Politimann. Politimann.
Teacher.
Lærer. Lærer.
Doctor.
Lege. Lege.
Engineer.
Ingeniør. Ingeniør.
Now, listen to some examples.
Hva jobber du med? Jeg en lærer. Hva jobber du med? Jeg en lege. Hva jobber du med? Jeg en ingeniør.
Okay, now it's your turn. Do you remember how to say, what do you do?
Hva jobber du med?
Imagine you're a doctor. Do you remember how to say, doctor?
Lege. Lege.
Say, I'm a doctor.
Jeg en lege.
Now answer the question saying that you are a doctor.
Hva jobber du med? Jeg en lege.
Now, imagine you're a teacher. Do you remember how to say teacher?
Lærer. Lærer.
Say, I'm a teacher.
Jeg en lærer.
Now, answer the question saying that you are a teacher.
Hva jobber du med? Jeg en lærer.
Now, imagine you're an engineer. Do you remember how to say engineer?
Ingeniør. Ingeniør.
Say, I'm an engineer.
Jeg en ingeniør.
Now, answer the question saying that you are an engineer.
Hva jobber du med? Jeg en ingeniør.
Most people who learn a foreign language learn it so that they can one day have real-life conversations with native speakers. When you start out learning and crack open your first textbook or listen to your first podcast, having a real conversation can feel like a fantasy. When everything about a language feels new, it can be overwhelming. But this couldn't be further from the truth. While it does take a significant amount of time and effort to become fluent, having a conversation might not be as far off as you think. In this video, we'll look at 3 ways you can boost your conversational skills and start talking to native speakers. Number 1, find native speakers and practice with them. It's unlikely you live near a big group of native speakers to practice with. If you happen to be in a major or international city, your chances may be better. Check and see if your city has a general language exchange. Chances are there could be a native speaker there who is also trying to learn another language. Practicing in person with a native speaker is probably the most interesting option for honing your speaking skills. But if you can't find anyone where you live, the next best option is to look online. Luckily for language learners, the past 10 years or so have seen an explosion in online language exchange sites. On these websites, you can search for someone who is a native speaker of your target language and is also learning your native language. The idea behind a language exchange is that you communicate with them via video or text chat, and half of the time, they help you practice your target language. And for the other half, you help them practice theirs. Practicing via an online language exchange is a highly effective way to practice your conversational skills. Number 2, work on pronunciation. Pronunciation is often an overlooked skill when it comes to learning a foreign language. Most people think of a good foreign accent as a luxury rather than a necessity. But what most people don't talk about is how having a good accent boosts your listening and comprehension skills. If you can hear a sound from a foreign language and know how to make it yourself, then you're more likely to understand native speakers when they talk at normal speed, and you're also more likely to remember any new words or phrases you come across. Having a good accent means that the language no longer sounds foreign. Instead, it sounds familiar, maybe even natural. So how do you go about perfecting your accent? The best way is to break down the language into its individual sounds. Make note of any sounds that are the same or similar to your native language and of those that are different. Of the sounds that are different, spend your time practicing the ones that you find the hardest to say correctly. After you're comfortable with the individual sounds, you can start linking together words and phrases. This is where accent practice starts to get really fun and interesting. Get your hands on some native speaker audio from a TV show, song, or podcast. Play the audio back and listen closely a few times. Take note of how words blend together in speech. Then, do your best to imitate what you hear, trying to match the speaker's emphasis and intonation. Our language learning program's playback feature is perfect for this. Record yourself and compare it to the original recording. Rinse and repeat until you're comfortable with the audio selection, and then move on to something more difficult. This is how you can break through the accent barrier and really start to make the language your own. Number 3, learn phrases, not just individual words. Learning grammar and individual words is great, but it's not the only approach you should take if you want to speak fluently. In addition to your regular grammar and vocabulary, try learning whole phrases, even if you aren't totally sure how they work grammatically. Learn phrases that are specific to your needs. It's a good idea to learn phrases that are grouped around a certain setting or subject, such as simple greetings or introductions, questions for getting to know someone, or traveling comfortably. You can even learn filler phrases, which you can use so that you have something to say when, well, you don't know what to say. Learning phrases like this will help you become conversational faster. You may not understand what you're saying literally, but as long as you know the general meaning behind the phrase and know when to use it, you'll be able to talk like a native. Eventually, your knowledge of grammar and vocabulary should catch up with the phrases you know. Learning a new language should feel like an adventure. There will be plateaus and periods in your learning where it feels like you're hitting a wall, but being able to speak with native speakers and have real conversations will help you combat language fatigue. After all, talking to someone face-to-face in a foreign language is one of the main reasons we start learning in the first place. And for even more ways to gain conversation skills, check out our complete language learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account by clicking on the link in the description. Get tons of resources to have you speaking in your target language. And if you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share the video with anyone who's trying to learn a new language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. I'll see you next time. Bye! Hey everyone, Alicia here. Welcome to Conversational Phrases. We've found that the best way to learn a language is to speak it from day one. And the best way to start speaking is to learn phrases that you'll use in real conversations. In this lesson, we'll learn conversational phrases to answer the question, how's your mother? After watching this video, you'll be able to talk about well-being and ask how someone is doing. And if you want to learn more vocabulary, phrases, and example sentences you can use in real-life situations, click the link in the description to download your Conversation About Family Well-Being PDF cheat sheet for free. Now let's take a look at some conversational phrases.
Listen to the dialogue.
Hvordan har moren din det? Hun har det bra.
Once more with the English translation.
Hvordan har moren din det?
How's your mother?
Hun har det bra.
She's fine. First of all, you'll need to learn how to say, how's your mother? That's,
Hvordan har moren din det?
listen to it again.
Hvordan har moren din det? Hvordan har moren din det?
This Norwegian sentence literally means, how has your mother it? But it translates as, how's your mother in English. Now, how do you answer this question? The pattern is
Hun har det.
state of well-being. This Norwegian sentence literally means she has it, state of well-being, but it translates as she is state of well-being in English. For example, she's fine.
Hun har det bra. Hun har det bra.
Here are a few expressions related to well-being that you can use with this pattern. Great,
Flott. Flott.
fine,
Bra. Bra.
so-so,
Noenlunde. Noenlunde.
not good,
Ikke bra. Ikke bra.
Let's look at some examples. Listen and repeat or speak along with the native speakers.
Hvordan har moren din det? Hun har det flott. Hvordan har moren din det? Hun har det noenlunde. Hvordan har moren din det? Hun har det ikke bra.
Okay, now it's your turn. Do you remember how to say, how's your mother?
Hvordan har moren din det?
Imagine she's great. Do you remember how to say great?
Flott. Flott.
Say, she's great.
Hun har det flott.
Now, answer the question saying she's great.
Hvordan har moren din det? Hun har det flott.
Now imagine she's so-so. Do you remember how to say so-so?
Noenlunde. Noenlunde.
Say, she's so-so.
Hun har det noenlunde.
Now, answer the question saying she's so-so.
Hvordan har moren din det? Hun har det noenlunde.
Now imagine she's not good. Do you remember how to say not good?
Ikke bra. Ikke bra.
Say, she's not good.
Hun har det ikke bra.
Now, answer the question saying she's not good.
Hvordan har moren din det? Hun har det ikke bra.
You've studied for a while and are ready to talk to people and practice what you've learned. But where do you start? Starting a conversation in a new language can seem a bit intimidating. How do you just jump into it? In this video, we'll look at 5 ways to start conversations. Number 1, introduce yourself in your target language. This is usually one of the first things you learn when you start studying a new language. And sometimes starting a conversation, or continuing one, is as simple as introducing yourself. Number 2, talking about the weather. This is a universal talking point. People talk about the weather all over the world. And just saying, "It's really nice today," is enough to start a conversation. A great way to practice your weather conversation skills is to check out our Can-Do lesson pathway. This series of lessons teaches you how to talk about the weather in your target language. Number 3, give compliments. Compliments are a great way to start a conversation. You can compliment something about your conversation partner's city, country, or something specific to them personally. "Hey, your bag is super cute," or "That ice cream looks delicious." These kinds of compliments can lead to further conversation about what you complimented. In this case, it could be fashion or a local restaurant. This is a great way to make quick connections with people. Number 4, ask for help. For example, you can ask for directions, ask about prices, or request recommendations for restaurants or shopping spots, and let the conversation go from there. People are usually happy to lend a helping hand to tourists who are visiting their city. Number 5, learn phrases for transactions. This can include getting a room at a hotel or telling a taxi driver where to go. When you're traveling overseas, you'll need to talk to other people in your target language. And while this might be a bit scary at first, you'll find that the people you meet are just happy that you're trying to communicate with them. So get started talking in your target language now. For even more tips on how to start conversations, check out our complete language learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account by clicking on the link in the description. Get tons of resources to have you speaking in your target language. And if you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share the video with anyone who's trying to learn a new language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. I'll see you next time. Bye! Hey everyone, Alicia here. Welcome to Conversational Phrases. We've found that the best way to learn a language is to speak it from day 1. And the best way to start speaking is to learn phrases that you'll use in real conversations. In this lesson, we'll learn conversational phrases to answer the question, "What's the matter?" After watching this video, you'll be able to make complaints and ask someone else if they're having any issues. And if you want to learn more vocabulary, phrases, and example sentences you can use in real-life situations, click the link in the description to download your Making Complaints PDF cheat sheet for free. Now let's take a look at some conversational phrases.
Listen to the dialogue.
Hva er galt?
Kontoret er varmt.
Once more with the English translation.
Hva er galt?
What's the matter?
Kontoret er varmt.
The office is hot. First of all, you'll need to learn how to say, "What's the matter?" That's,
Hva galt?
listen to it again.
Hva galt? Hva galt?
This Norwegian sentence literally translates into, "What's wrong?" but it means, "What's the matter?" in English. Now, how do you answer this question? The pattern is
Kontoret
adjective. The office is adjective. For example, the office is hot.
Kontoret varmt. Kontoret varmt.
Here are a few more examples you can use with the same pattern to make complaints. Hot,
Varmt. Varmt.
cold,
Kaldt. Kaldt.
noisy,
Bråkete. Bråkete.
dirty,
Skittent. Skittent.
Let's look at some examples. Listen and repeat or speak along with the native speakers.
Hva galt?
Kontoret kaldt.
Hva galt?
Kontoret bråkete.
Hva galt?
Kontoret skittent.
Okay, now it's your turn. Do you remember how to say, "What's the matter?"
Hva galt?
Imagine the office is cold. Do you remember how to say cold?
Kaldt. Kaldt.
Say, the office is cold.
Kontoret kaldt.
Now answer the question saying the office is cold.
Hva galt?
Kontoret kaldt.
Now imagine the office is noisy. Do you remember how to say noisy?
Bråkete. Bråkete.
Say, the office is noisy.
Kontoret bråkete.
Now, answer the question saying the office is noisy.
Hva galt?
Kontoret bråkete.
Now imagine the office is dirty. Do you remember how to say dirty?
Skittent. Skittent.
Say, the office is dirty.
Kontoret skittent.
Now answer the question, saying the office is dirty.
Hva galt?
Kontoret skittent.
Want to speak your target language with confidence and impress native speakers? When learning to speak a new language, you have lots of things to think about, including grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation. Because you're thinking of all of these things and trying to speak, it can be difficult to communicate with confidence, especially in the beginning. This is why it's helpful to make confidence-building exercises part of your language learning process. In this video, you'll learn 7 ways to boost your confidence. 1. Read out loud. This might seem pretty basic, but it's a great way to practice speaking. Reading aloud lets you practice speaking without having to think about grammar or things to talk about. Reading out loud lets you focus on your pronunciation and the rhythm of the language. It can help you learn to speak more smoothly and quickly, without even thinking about it. If you're using our lessons, read the dialogue out loud as you listen. You can read along with the dialogue tool, the lesson notes, or the transcript. 2. Read like a child. This might sound strange, but think about children learning to read. They go slow and sound everything out. Maybe it takes 2 or 3 tries before they read a new word smoothly, and a few more tries before they can read it at a natural pace. This example applies to language learning too. If you find a complex sentence in something you're reading, read it slowly at first, then speed up. With practice, you'll be able to say it easily. It might feel a bit silly to speak very slowly, but this kind of practice can help you identify tough sounds you might miss or say incorrectly when reading quickly. 3. Use the dialogue breakdown tool. If you're using our site, this is a great tool to take advantage of. It breaks down lesson conversations into individual lines. You can listen to the audio for each line, learn what each line means, and can reread and review as much as you want. 4. Use the voice recorder to record and compare yourself with native speakers. Just click on the microphone icon next to each line in the dialogue section. You can use this tool to perfect your pronunciation if you like, but this is also something you can use to work on speaking with confidence at native level speed. You'll find this tool in the dialogue section of all of our lessons. 5. Repeat and review old lesson conversations. Reviewing what you've studied in the past is the best way to make sure you maintain what you've learned. Go back to older lessons, download the lesson dialogue tracks, and re-listen to the conversations again and again. Or you can reread the dialogue lines from previous lessons until you've mastered them all. 6. Shadow conversations. Repeat what you hear out loud. This tactic is important, but it can be tricky when you're doing a brand new lesson. If you're reviewing dialogues from lessons you've done though, it's super easy to do. Just listen to the dialogue and repeat what you hear. Shadowing means mimicking the speaker as soon as they speak, following their intonation and rhythms as closely as possible. 7. Send recordings to your Premium Plus teacher. If you want to speak with confidence, there's no better confidence boost than feedback from a native speaker, and you get just that with a Premium Plus teacher. You can record yourself reciting a lesson dialogue or any dialogue of your own, and your teacher will give you specific tips on how to improve. From the tips your teacher gives you, choose at least one and practice, practice, practice. Being able to react quickly and with confidence in a conversation is typically not something you can do on your first try, but if you continue practicing, you'll gradually find yourself speaking with ease. And for even more ways to build your speaking confidence, check out our complete language learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account by clicking on the link in the description. Get tons of resources to have you speaking in your target language. And if you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share the video with anyone who's trying to learn a new language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. I'll see you next time. Bye! Hi everyone, I'm Alicia. Welcome to Conversational Phrases. We've found that the best way to learn a language is to speak it from day one. And the best way to start speaking is to learn phrases that you'll use in real conversations. In this lesson, you'll learn conversational phrases to ask and answer the question, how do you say this? After watching this video, you'll be able to ask someone how a word is pronounced. And if you want to learn more vocabulary, phrases, and example sentences you can use in real-life situations, click the link in the description to download your How to Say Something PDF cheat sheet for free. Now, let's take a look at some conversational phrases.
Listen to the dialogue.
Hvordan sier man dette? Man sier parkeringsplass.
Once more with the English translation.
Hvordan sier man dette?
How do you say this?
Man sier parkeringsplass.
It's parking lot. First of all, you'll need to learn how to say, how do you say this? That's
Hvordan sier man dette?
Listen to it again.
Hvordan sier man dette? Hvordan sier man dette?
This Norwegian sentence literally translates into, how does one say this? But it means, how do you say this in English? Now, how do you answer this question? The pattern is
Man sier
word. This Norwegian sentence literally translates into, one says word. But it means, it's word in English. For example, it's parking lot.
Man sier parkeringsplass. Man sier parkeringsplass.
Here are a few useful words you can use with the same pattern. Parking lot,
Parkeringsplass. Parkeringsplass.
giraffe,
Giraff. Giraff.
travel,
Reise. Reise.
invasion,
Invasjon. Invasjon.
Let's look at some examples. Listen and repeat or speak along with the native speakers.
Hvordan sier man dette? Man sier giraff. Hvordan sier man dette? Man sier reise. Hvordan sier man dette? Man sier invasjon.
Okay, now it's your turn. Do you remember how to say, how do you say this?
Hvordan sier man dette?
Imagine it's the word giraffe. Do you remember how to say giraffe?
Giraff. Giraff.
Say, it's giraffe.
Man sier giraff.
Now answer the question saying, it's giraffe.
Hvordan sier man dette? Man sier giraff.
Now imagine the word is travel. Do you remember how to say travel?
Reise. Reise.
Say, it's travel.
Man sier reise.
Now, answer the question saying it's travel.
Hvordan sier man dette? Man sier reise.
Now imagine the word is invasion. Do you remember how to say invasion?
Invasjon. Invasjon.
Say, it's invasion.
Man sier invasjon.
Now answer the question saying it's invasion.
Hvordan sier man dette? Man sier invasjon.
Want to speak real Norwegian from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at NorwegianClass101.com.
Want to speak and understand more of your target language? If so, of course, you'll need to know more words and phrases than you do now. In this video, we'll cover 5 ways to master new words and phrases fast. Number 1, use our free vocabulary list. This is a free library of vocabulary and phrase lessons for all kinds of situations. You can learn words and phrases for current events, holidays like Halloween and Thanksgiving, and useful topics like the top 10 ways to say hello, conversational phrases, and more. You'll learn phrases that you won't find in textbooks. If you want to learn extra fast, use the slideshow tool. Just tap or click on View Slideshow, then sit back and review the words and phrases. Find the vocabulary lists in the vocabulary drop-down menu on the site. These vocabulary lists are free for all users. Number 2, take the audio and video lessons. One of the best ways to learn new words is by hearing and using them in conversations. This is because it gives you the opportunity to understand how the words are actually used. In every lesson dialogue, you'll likely come across some words you don't know. But don't worry, because our teachers translate everything. When you hear the conversation again at the end of the lesson, you'll be familiar with the words you didn't know at first. Number 3, learn with our 2,000 most common words list. A quick question. How many words do you think you need for conversational fluency? 3,000? 5,000? It's actually not as many as you think. Language experts say you need about 1,500 words to reach conversational fluency. With our 2,000 most common words list, you'll get access to key vocabulary words you need to boost your conversation skills. The words are broken down into simple categories, such as adjectives, nouns, verbs, food, drinks, numbers, months, and so on. So you can go category by category and focus on what you're most interested in first. With this tip, we're not talking about paper flashcards. We're talking about the smart flashcards that you can find in our premium study tools. This is an automatic system individualized for each member based on their study needs. First, you'll use the cards to check your knowledge. Then, according to your answers, the cards will be sorted according to which words you need more practice with. Words that you struggle with will be shown to you more and more. You'll see words that you know well less often. This system helps you study more efficiently. It displays the words you need to work on and knows when you should refresh your knowledge. This helps make sure you don't forget vocabulary. In every study session, these cards will help you refresh your memory on the words you learned last time and introduce new words. Number 5, use the words. After you learn a new word, using it right away is crucial to remembering it. So, when you're done with a lesson or a vocab list, here's something you can do. Leave a comment. Make up a sample sentence and post it in the comment section. Write it down in a notebook, or shadow the word with a lessons dialogue. Our language learning program is full of tools that can help you speak more. Just pick one and get started. If you want to unlock all of these study tools, check out our complete language learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account by clicking on the link in the description. Get tons of resources to have you speaking in your target language. And if you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share the video with anyone who's trying to learn a new language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. I'll see you next time. Bye! Hi everyone, I'm Alicia. Welcome to Conversational Phrases. We've found that the best way to learn a language is to speak it from day one. And the best way to start speaking is to learn phrases that you'll use in real conversations. In this lesson, we'll learn conversational phrases to answer the question, what's your favorite number? After watching this video, you'll be able to say many numbers and ask someone their favorite number. And if you want to learn more vocabulary, phrases, and example sentences you can use in real-life situations, click the link in the description to download your Talking About Numbers PDF cheat sheet for free. Now, let's take a look at some conversational phrases.
Listen to the dialogue.
Hva er favorittallet ditt? Det er 7.
Once more with the English translation.
Hva er favorittallet ditt?
What's your favorite number?
Det er 7.
It's 7. First of all, you'll need to learn how to say, what's your favorite number? That's,
Hva er favorittallet ditt?
listen to it again.
Hva er favorittallet ditt? Hva er favorittallet ditt?
This Norwegian sentence literally translates into, what is favorite number your? But it means, what's your favorite number in English? Now, how do you answer this question? The pattern is
Det
number. It's number. For example, it's 7.
Det 7. Det 7.
Here are a few more numbers you can use with the same pattern. 7,
7, 7,
2,
2, 2,
4,
4, 4,
9,
9, 9,
Let's look at some examples. Listen and repeat or speak along with the native speakers.
Hva favorittallet ditt?
det 2,
Hva favorittallet ditt?
det 4,
Hva favorittallet ditt?
det 9,
Okay, now it's your turn. Do you remember how to say, what's your favorite number?
Hva favorittallet ditt?
Imagine it's 2. Do you remember how to say 2?
2, 2,
Say, it's 2.
det 2,
Now answer the question saying, it's 2.
Hva favorittallet ditt?
det 2,
Now imagine it's 4. Do you remember how to say 4?
4, 4,
Say, it's 4.
det 4,
Now, answer the question by saying, it's 4.
Hva favorittallet ditt?
det 4,
Now, imagine it's 9. Do you remember how to say 9?
9, 9,
Say, it's 9.
det 9,
Now, answer the question saying, it's 9.
Hva favorittallet ditt?
det 9.
Hi everyone, I'm Alicia. Welcome to Conversational Phrases. We've found that the best way to learn a language is to speak it from day one. And the best way to start speaking is to learn phrases that you'll use in real conversations. In this lesson, we'll learn conversational phrases to answer the question, what kind of movies do you like? After watching this video, you'll be able to talk about movies and ask other people about their favorite kinds of movies. And if you want to learn more vocabulary, phrases, and example sentences you can use in real-life situations, click the link in the description to download your Talking About Movies and TV PDF cheat sheet for free. Now, let's take a look at some conversational phrases.
Listen to the dialogue.
Hvilken type filmer liker du?
Jeg liker skrekkfilmer.
Once more with the English translation.
Hvilken type filmer liker du?
What kind of movies do you like?
Jeg liker skrekkfilmer.
I like horror movies. First of all, you'll need to learn how to say, what kind of movies do you like? That's,
Hvilken type filmer liker du?
listen to it again.
Hvilken type filmer liker du? Hvilken type filmer liker du?
This Norwegian sentence literally translates as, what kind of movies like you? But it means, what kind of movies do you like? Now, how do you answer this question? The pattern is,
Jeg liker.
type of movie. I like type of movie. For example, I like horror movies.
Jeg liker skrekkfilmer. Jeg liker skrekkfilmer.
Here are a few more kinds of movies you can use with the same pattern to talk about movies. Horror movies,
Skrekkfilmer. Skrekkfilmer.
comedy,
Komedier. Komedier.
fantasy,
Fantasy. Fantasy.
romance,
Romantikk. Romantikk.
Let's look at some examples. Listen and repeat or speak along with the native speakers.
Hvilken type filmer liker du?
Jeg liker komedie.
Hvilken type filmer liker du?
Jeg liker fantasy.
Hvilken type filmer liker du?
Jeg liker romantikk.
Okay, now it's your turn. Do you remember how to say, what kind of movies do you like?
Hvilken type filmer liker du?
Imagine you like comedies. Do you remember how to say comedy?
Komedier. Komedier.
Say, I like comedies.
Jeg liker komedie.
Now answer the question saying that you like comedies.
Hvilken type filmer liker du?
Jeg liker komedie.
Now imagine that you like fantasy movies. Do you remember how to say fantasy?
Fantasy. Fantasy.
Say, I like fantasy movies.
Jeg liker fantasy.
Now, answer the question saying you like fantasy movies.
Hvilken type filmer liker du?
Jeg liker fantasy.
Now imagine you like romantic movies. Do you remember how to say romantic?
Romantikk. Romantikk.
Say, I like romantic movies.
Jeg liker romantikk.
Now answer the question saying you like romantic movies.
Hvilken type filmer liker du?
Jeg liker romantikk.
Hi everyone, I'm Alicia. Welcome to Conversational Phrases. We've found that the best way to learn a language is to speak it from day one. And the best way to start speaking is to learn phrases that you'll use in real conversations. In this lesson, you'll learn conversational phrases to answer the question, what are you doing during the holiday? After watching this video, you'll be able to talk about your holiday plans. And if you want to learn more vocabulary, phrases, and example sentences you can use in real-life situations, click the link in the description to download your National Holidays PDF cheat sheet for free. Now, let's take a look at some conversational phrases.
Listen to the dialogue.
Hvilke planer har du for karneval?
Jeg planlegger å dra til stranden.
Once more with the English translation.
Hvilke planer har du for karneval?
What are you doing for carnival?
Jeg planlegger å dra til stranden.
I'm planning to go to the beach. First of all, you'll need to learn how to say, what are you doing for carnival? That's,
Hvilke planer har du for karneval?
in Norway, carnival is a celebration mostly held in kindergartens and elementary schools and mostly involves dressing up in costumes and masks. Listen to it again.
Hvilke planer har du for karneval? Hvilke planer har du for karneval?
This Norwegian sentence literally translates as, what plans have you for carnival? But it means, what are you doing for carnival? Now, how do you answer this question? The pattern is,
Jeg planlegger å
plan. This Norwegian sentence literally translates as, I planning to plan. But it means, I'm planning to plan. For example, I'm planning to go to the beach.
Jeg planlegger å dra til stranden. Jeg planlegger å dra til stranden.
Here are a few more phrases you can use with the same pattern to talk about your plans. Go to the beach.
Dra til stranden. Dra til stranden.
Travel.
Reise. Reise.
Stay home.
Bli hjemme. Bli hjemme.
Go to the movies.
Dra på kino. Dra på kino.
Let's look at some examples. Listen and repeat, or speak along with the native speakers.
Hvilke planer har du for karneval? Jeg planlegger å reise. Hvilke planer har du for karneval? Jeg planlegger å bli hjemme. Hvilke planer har du for karneval? Jeg planlegger å dra på kino.
Okay, now it's your turn. Do you remember how to say, what are you doing for carnival?
Hvilke planer har du for karneval?
Imagine you're planning to travel. Do you remember how to say travel?
Reise. Reise.
Say, I'm planning to travel.
Jeg planlegger å reise.
Now, answer the question saying you're planning to travel.
Hvilke planer har du for karneval? Jeg planlegger å reise.
Now, imagine you're planning to stay home. Do you remember how to say, stay home?
Bli hjemme. Bli hjemme.
Say, I'm planning to stay home.
Jeg planlegger å bli hjemme.
Now, answer the question saying you're planning to stay home.
Hvilke planer har du for karneval? Jeg planlegger å bli hjemme.
Now imagine you're planning to go to the movies. Do you remember how to say, go to the movies?
Dra på kino. Dra på kino.
Say, I'm planning to go to the movies.
Jeg planlegger å dra på kino.
Now, answer the question saying you're planning to go to the movies.
Hvilke planer har du for karneval? Jeg planlegger å dra på kino.
Hi everyone, I'm Alicia. Welcome to Conversational Phrases. We've found that the best way to learn a language is to speak it from day one. And the best way to start speaking is to learn phrases that you'll use in real conversations. In this lesson, you'll learn conversational phrases to use when talking on the phone. After watching this video, you'll be able to ask for someone on the phone and to put someone on hold. And if you want to learn more vocabulary, phrases, and example sentences you can use in real-life situations, click the link in the description to download your Making a Phone Call PDF cheat sheet for free. Now, let's take a look at some conversational phrases.
Listen to the dialogue.
Hei, jeg vil gjerne snakke med ansvarshavende.
Greit, bare et lite øyeblikk.
Once more with the English translation.
Hei, jeg vil gjerne snakke med ansvarshavende.
Hello, I'd like to speak with the person in charge.
Greit, bare et lite øyeblikk.
Okay, just a moment. First of all, you'll need to learn how to say hello on the phone. That's
Hei. Hei.
Then, you'll need to learn how to say, I'd like to speak with person. The pattern is
Jeg vil gjerne snakke med
person. This Norwegian sentence literally translates as, I would please speak with person, but it means, I'd like to speak with person. For example, hello, I'd like to speak with the person in charge.
Hei, jeg vil gjerne snakke med ansvarshavende. Hei, jeg vil gjerne snakke med ansvarshavende.
Now, how do you answer this question?
Greit, bare et lite øyeblikk.
Okay, just a moment. Listen to it again.
Greit, bare et lite øyeblikk. Greit, bare et lite øyeblikk.
Here are a few more phrases you can use with the same pattern to talk on the phone. The person in charge.
Ansvarshavende. Ansvarshavende.
A sales representative.
En salgsrepresentant. En salgsrepresentant.
The manager.
Daglig leder. Daglig leder.
Customer service.
Kundeservice. Kundeservice.
Let's look at some examples. Listen and repeat or speak along with the native speakers.
Jeg vil gjerne snakke med en salgsrepresentant.
Greit, bare et lite øyeblikk.
Jeg vil gjerne snakke med daglig leder.
Greit, bare et lite øyeblikk.
Jeg vil gjerne snakke med kundeservice.
Greit, bare et lite øyeblikk.
Okay, now it's your turn. Do you remember how to say, I'd like to speak with person?
Jeg vil gjerne snakke med
Person. And how do you answer it?
Greit, bare et lite øyeblikk.
Imagine you want to talk to a sales representative. Do you remember how to say, a sales representative?
En salgsrepresentant. En salgsrepresentant.
Say, I'd like to speak with a sales representative.
Jeg vil gjerne snakke med en salgsrepresentant.
Now say you want to talk to a sales representative and answer it.
Jeg vil gjerne snakke med en salgsrepresentant.
Greit, bare et lite øyeblikk.
Now, imagine you want to talk to the manager. Do you remember how to say, the manager?
Daglig leder. Daglig leder.
Say, I'd like to speak with the manager.
Jeg vil gjerne snakke med daglig leder.
Now say you want to talk to the manager and answer it.
Jeg vil gjerne snakke med daglig leder.
Greit, bare et lite øyeblikk.
Now imagine you want to talk to customer service. Do you remember how to say customer service?
Kundeservice. Kundeservice.
Say, I'd like to speak with customer service.
Jeg vil gjerne snakke med kundeservice.
Now say you want to talk to customer service and answer it.
Jeg vil gjerne snakke med kundeservice.
Greit, bare et lite øyeblikk.
When learning a new language, everyone should have an ultimate goal to work towards. Whether you want to be able to connect with a relative, easily order food while traveling, or go somewhere new, having an end goal for your learning can be very motivating. A popular but challenging goal is being able to speak like a native speaker. It's difficult to measure exactly when you reach this goal, and it's not something you can pick up using textbooks alone. So how do you work on making your speech more natural? That's what we're going to look at today. Here are 3 tips to help you practice talking like a native speaker. Number 1, focus on vocabulary. If your goal is to speak like a native, you might be really focused on speaking quickly or using as many complex grammar patterns as possible. But in our native languages, we're not always trying to speak as fast as possible, and we use complex grammar patterns when necessary, not to show off. Vocabulary, however, is extremely important to expressing ourselves naturally. Your choice of words can reveal a lot about you and your understanding of the language. Most learners have had the experience of using a phrasebook or a dictionary to find a word they want to use, trying the word in conversation, and getting a look of confusion from the native speaker. In some cases, although your word choice may be grammatically correct, the word may be inappropriate for the situation or totally unnatural. This is especially important in business and other formal situations, where the right level of formality and professionalism is key. Being able to understand nuances in vocabulary words can also help you understand relationships between people just by listening to the conversation. Try to listen to many different types of conversations. Listen to how people talk to their friends, their superiors, and in customer service situations. This will give you a better idea of how to talk to others naturally. In some languages, you can omit words from sentences or use more direct communication styles. It's important to be aware of these things so you can apply them yourself. Colloquialisms and slang are also commonly used in most languages. As this sort of vocabulary is always evolving, it can be difficult to keep up with the latest words. Talk with native speakers and consume media in your target language to make sure you pick up these kinds of expressions. Media is a great resource for your learning. Ultimately, knowing the appropriate vocabulary to use for each situation will really help you sound more knowledgeable. Number 2, perfect your accent. With every language, there are unique pronunciation and intonation challenges. Some languages are tonal languages, and a change in pitch can completely change the meaning of a word. Then there's the fact that most countries have multiple dialects, and so people from one area of the country may sound different from those in another. So what is the best way to listen to a wide range of accents and different pronunciations? Video and audio resources are a great way to do this. YouTube is a perfect place to start because people from all kinds of different backgrounds upload videos to the platform. You can watch educational videos, daily life vlogs, cooking shows, a travel series, whatever interests you. Pay attention to the different ways people speak. Everyone is unique. And then practice speaking like them. This kind of practice can help you sound more natural. One note, please be aware of the type of resources you're using. For example, if you find a video where a speaker uses a rare dialect, it might not be a good idea to use that for your pronunciation practice, unless you have a special reason for studying a specific accent. As a general rule, it's best to try to search for practice resources that use a standard form of the language you're studying. Number 3, copy what you hear. Do you remember how you learned to speak as a child? We rarely learned new words just listening to them, or reading after we learned how. When we were little kids, we imitated the sounds we heard by repeating the sounds out loud. While you're talking to a friend, watching videos, or listening to audio in your target language, you can do this to try and replicate the way they speak. Doing this will help you work on mastering the flow of the language, your accent, intonation, and pronunciation. Of course, you might also pick up some new vocabulary this way. Make sure to repeat new words often. It's a great way to make sure you remember them. Try doing this using a number of different mediums and sources. That way, you'll be exposed to the diversity that the language offers and master the fundamentals of pronunciation. For example, you can watch and imitate several different YouTube videos and audio CDs, but try a few different sources, like different creators or different audio types, to make sure you experience a wide range of communication in your target language. If you're using our language learning program, you can even get your own teacher with Premium Plus. Your teacher can answer questions, give assignments, and even listen to your recordings and give you advice on pronunciation. Completing these kinds of lessons with a native teacher can really boost your confidence in your speaking skills. Becoming able to speak like a native is a popular goal for many people learning a new language. It feels great to be able to communicate smoothly, especially when the people you're talking to expect basic level sentences or broken communication. Try using the tips we've shared in this video to work on improving your speaking skills. Of course, it'll take time and persistence, but the reward will be more natural communication. And for even more tips on speaking, check out our complete language learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account by clicking on the link in the description. Get tons of resources to have you speaking in your target language. And if you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share the video with anyone who's trying to learn a new language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. I'll see you next time. Bye! Want to finally start speaking in your target language? In this guide, you'll discover the top 7 ways to practice speaking on your own with our lessons. Let's begin. Number 1, shadowing. Shadowing is a proven learning technique where all you do is repeat what you hear in order to practice speaking. So access any audio or video lesson on the site and press the play button to start. Then, as you listen or watch, just repeat the conversations. Or, even easier, read along out loud with the dialogue section. The script is right there in front of you. With our lessons, you can master entire conversations, just like that. Number 2, read out loud. I just mentioned it, but reading out loud is another powerful tactic and deserves its own mention. With every lesson, you get written transcripts and translations. So, as you play the lesson, read the dialogue out loud as you hear it. Why? By reading out loud, you're also practicing your speaking skills. You can do this with the lesson notes, the lesson transcript, or the dialogue tool. With the dialogue tool, you can listen to each line again and again, and repeat out loud until you master them all. Number 3, speed up your reading to speed up your speaking. Being able to speak without thinking is a sign of language mastery. If you're talking to a native and can respond quickly, they'll assume that you're fairly fluent. How can you do this? When you read out loud, try increasing your speed a little bit every time. So, start by reading with the dialogue tool. If you're like most learners, you'll read the first line slowly. That's because you're still getting used to the words, which is okay. Reread it. On your second try, you know most of the words, and you'll read a little faster. Reread it again. On your third try, you'll be even faster, at a native speaker's speed. And being able to read these phrases out loud and fast will help you speak fast. Number 4, record and compare yourself with native speakers. In order to sound like a native speaker, you must imitate native speakers. So here's how. Access the voice recorder, which is in the Dialogue Study tool in every lesson. Click on the microphone icon. Listen to the native speaker's audio, and then record yourself. You can then compare the 2 recordings side by side, and practice and try again and again until you perfect your pronunciation. Number 5, get feedback from our Premium Plus teacher. If you're learning by yourself and don't have access to real teachers, then you can always get feedback from our Premium Plus teachers. With the My Teacher tool, you can record yourself speaking and send the audio file to the teacher. They'll review it and tell you what to improve and how. That's it. Number 6, level up your speaking with Premium Plus assignments. With Premium Plus, you can also get assignments that cover reading, writing, listening, and even speaking from your teacher. These assignments can be tailored to your goals and needs. You get a new one every week, or anytime you're ready for a new one. Number 7, get even more lessons in the lesson library. If you want even more lessons on speaking and conversations, visit our lesson library and under Category, choose Conversation. You'll get all of the pathways and lessons that are focused on speaking. If you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share it with anyone who's trying to learn a language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. And if you're ready to finally learn language the fast, fun, and easy way, and start speaking from your very first lesson, get our complete learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account right now. Click the link in the description. I'll see you next time. Bye!
Hi, jeg heter Nora. Hi everybody, I'm Nora. Welcome to NorwegianClass101.com's Norsk på 3 minutter. The fastest, easiest, and most fun way to learn Norwegian. In the last lesson, we learned how to be grateful to people by saying takk. In this lesson, we learned some of the most common greetings used in Norway. Er dere klare? Are you ready? La oss begynne! So let's start. The most used informal greeting is Hei. Hei. Hei means hi. We use it when we meet people. We can use this greeting with anyone. But it isn't the only way to greet someone. We also have Hallo. Hallo, which means hello. And more time-specific greetings like God dag. God dag. Literally, God dag means good day. As a rule of thumb, we can use god dag only during the daytime, from morning until evening. During the evening, we say god kveld. God kveld. Kveld is Norwegian for evening, so god kveld means good evening. Finally, in the mornings we say god morgen, god morgen, which means good morning. God dag, god kveld, and god morgen are used when we meet someone, but when we leave, we don't say them again. When parting ways for a long time, we usually say ha det bra. Ha det bra. Ha det bra means be well, but translates best as goodbye. Finally, in Norwegian, we have an expression meaning see you soon. Ses. Ses. Now you can greet people in many different ways in Norwegian. Let's review them all again. When meeting friends or someone we don't know, hei or hallo. When leaving, we say ha det bra. When leaving but want to imply see you soon, we say ses. It's easy, isn't it? Now it's time for Nora's insights. In formal situations, Norwegian people commonly greet each other by shaking hands. However, if we meet someone we are very friendly with, it's common to give hugs. Don't be afraid to try it out with your Norwegian friends. During the next lesson, we'll learn the meaning of the phrase Snakker du engelsk? Do you already know it? I'll be waiting to talk with you about it in our next Norsk på 3 minutter lesson. På gjensyn!
Today we're going to talk about 4 techniques to help you stop translating in your head and instead start thinking in your target language. This will allow you to have conversations with ease, read smoothly, and better understand native speakers. These are 4 methods to help you think in a new language. Number 1. Surround yourself with your target language. This way, you'll be completely immersed in the language. Without realizing it, you'll learn pronunciation, sentence structures, grammar, and new vocabulary. Play music in the background while you're cooking, or have a radio station on while you study. Just use one of our endless podcasts available to you. These are easy to listen to in the background while doing other things. Number 2. Learn through observation. This is how we all learned our native languages as kids. Words will develop their own meanings that relate better to your target language, rather than meanings that are translated directly. Number 3. Speak out loud to yourself. Even if you're a little embarrassed, it forces you to listen to how you speak. It makes it much easier to spot simple grammar mistakes. Number 4. Practice daily. If you practice everything for only one day, you won't retain the information you learned. The brain can realistically only focus for about 30 minutes. So studying a little every day allows you to absorb better. Follow these steps and have patience. You'll soon be able to achieve your language learning goals. Just make sure to remember these 4 methods. Sign up for your free lifetime account. No credit card required, and you'll get the best free online resources. And start learning more every day.
Hello everybody and welcome to this class. My name is Annette and I'm gonna teach you top 25 phrases in Norwegian. Let's get started. Hallo. Hello. Hallo. Actually, in Norwegian, the word for hello is so similar that even I mess it up. Hallo. Hello. God morgen. Good morning. God morgen. Good morning. Well, this is basically almost the same. God ettermiddag. Good afternoon. God ettermiddag. Good afternoon. God natt. Good night. God natt. Good night. Time for bed. Hva heter du? What's your name? Hva heter du? What's your name? Actually, this means something like, what are you called? Jeg heter Annette. I'm Annette. Jeg heter Annette. My name is Annette. Or literally, I'm called Annette. Hyggelig å møte deg. Nice to meet you. Hyggelig å møte deg. Nice to meet you. A very useful phrase when you meet somebody for the first time. Hvordan går det med deg? How are you? Hvordan går det med deg? How are you? Maybe if you haven't seen somebody for a long time, you can use this phrase. Jeg har det bra, takk. Hva med deg? I'm fine, thanks. And you? Jeg har det bra, takk. Hva med deg? I'm fine, thanks. And you? You could make this phrase even shorter and say bra, takk. Med deg? Vær så snill. Please. Vær så snill. Please. Yeah, this is a very useful phrase you can use in almost any situations if there's anything you want. Takk. Thank you. Takk. Thank you. We also have the phrase tusen takk, which literally means 1,000 thanks, if you want to be more polite. Vær så god. You're welcome. Vær så god. You're welcome. It's my pleasure. Ja. Yes. Ja. Yes. Nei. No. Nei. No. Greit. Okay. Greit. Okay. Actually, you can just say okay as well, as it's very commonly used in Norwegian too. Unnskyld meg. Excuse me. Unnskyld meg. Excuse me. Unnskyld is a very useful phrase. When you want to say sorry, you can also say unnskyld. Jeg beklager. I'm sorry. Jeg beklager. I'm sorry. Or you can say unnskyld. Hva klokka? What time is it? Hva klokka? What time is it? Actually, hva klokka literally means what is the clock? Kan jeg få regningen, er du snill? Could I get the check, please? Kan jeg få regningen, er du snill? Could I get the check, please? Unfortunately, those bills aren't gonna pay themselves, you know. Vent et øyeblikk. Wait a moment. Vent et øyeblikk. Wait a moment. Øyeblikk actually means I blink, so wait just a blink of an eye. Hvor mye koster denne? How much is this? Hvor mye koster denne? How much is this? Well, yeah, as we all know, Norway is a really expensive country, so you're gonna need a lot of money traveling there. Hjelp. Help. Hjelp. Help. Easy to remember, almost the same. Se deg senere. See you later. Se deg senere. See you later. You can also say vi ses senere. We'll see each other later. Farvel. Goodbye. Farvel. Goodbye. Actually, this is kind of a heavy phrase. It's like farewell in English. And it's usually used if you're saying goodbye to somebody you're not going to see in a very long time. So usually we would just say ha det bra. Ha det bra literally means have it well, so it just means stay well. Jeg vet ikke. I don't know. Jeg vet ikke. I don't know. Sometimes you don't know. Nothing to do with that. That's all for now. Thank you all for watching. Please let us know if you have any questions or comments. Also, don't forget to like our video and subscribe to our channel. Thank you, goodbye! Hello and welcome back to Top Norwegian Words. Today we're looking at 10 questions you should know in Norwegian. So let's get started. Hva heter du? What's your name? Hva heter du? What's your name? Jeg heter Annette. My name is Annette. Hvordan går det med deg? How are you? Hvordan går det med deg? How are you? Jeg har det bra. I'm good. Hvor er du fra? Where are you from? Hvor er du fra? Where are you from? Jeg er fra Oslo. I'm from Oslo. Når er bursdagen din? When is your birthday? Når er bursdagen din? When is your birthday? Bursdagen min er 20. januar. My birthday is the 20th of January. Actually, my birthday is in December, so December. Hvor bor du? Where do you live? Hvor bor du? Where do you live? Jeg bor i Bergen. I live in Bergen. Bergen is a nice city. If you live there, you're lucky. Hvor jobber du? Where do you work? Hvor jobber du? Where do you work? Jeg jobber I kommunen. I work at the municipality. Hva telefonnummeret ditt? What's your phone number? Hva telefonnummeret ditt? What's your phone number? Mitt telefonnummer 90 45 40 50. My telephone number is 90 45 40 50. Now, of course, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna give out my number. Hvor lærte du norsk? Where did you learn Norwegian? Hvor lærte du norsk? Where did you learn Norwegian? Jeg lærte norsk gjennom en nettside. I learned Norwegian through a website. NorwegianClass101.com. Liker du norsk mat? Do you like Norwegian food? Liker du norsk mat? Do you like Norwegian food? Ja, jeg elsker norsk mat. Yes, I love Norwegian food, especially salmon. Salmon is delicious. Har du vært I Norge? Have you been to Norway? Har du vært I Norge? Have you been to Norway? Ja, jeg har vært I Norge 3 ganger. I have been to Norway 3 times. Okay guys, that's all for now. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please let us know in the comment section below. Also, go to NorwegianClass101.com for more info and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you and see you again. Bye bye. Ha det bra. Hi everybody. This is Annette from NorwegianClass101.com. Today we're gonna look at must-know expressions for agreeing and disagreeing in Norwegian. So let's get started. Jeg kunne ikke vært mer enig med deg. I couldn't agree with you more. Jeg kunne ikke vært mer enig med deg. Jeg kunne ikke vært mer enig med deg. I couldn't agree with you more. Vel, jeg ikke sikker. Well, I'm not sure. Vel, jeg ikke sikker. Vel, jeg ikke sikker. Well, I'm not sure. Selvfølgelig. Of course. Selvfølgelig. Of course. This literally means self-followingly. So yeah, of course. Selvfølgelig. Jeg antar det. I guess so. Jeg antar det. I guess so. Jeg antar han snakker sant. I guess he's telling the truth. Jeg skulle akkurat til å si det. I was just going to say that. Jeg skulle akkurat til å si det. I was just going to say that. Jeg skulle akkurat til å si det. Isn't it annoying when you have something clever you want to say and then somebody snatches that idea right in front of you? Ja, du har rett. Yes, you're right. Ja, du har rett. Yes, you're right. Ja, du har rett. Ja, du har rett. It is not easy to admit it when you're the one at fault, but sometimes you gotta say, you're right. Du tar feil. You're wrong. Du tar feil. You're wrong. Du tar feil. This literally means you take wrong. This might be a bit direct if you're talking to your colleagues or your boss, but it's quite commonly used among friends or family, and sometimes it kind of gives you a good feeling when you can point out that somebody else is wrong, right? It's like, du tar feil. You're wrong. Jeg tar aldri feil. I'm never wrong. Jeg tror ikke det. I don't think so. Jeg tror ikke det. I don't think so. Jeg tror ikke det. Kanskje. Maybe. Kanskje. Maybe. Kanskje literally means can happen. So if it can happen, then maybe. If you're a very non-confrontational person, you might want to use this phrase often. Maybe, kanskje. Det er sant. That's true. Det er sant. That's true. Det er sant. Det er sant. Det er sant at du må studere mye hvis du vil bli flytende i norsk. It is true that you have to study a lot if you want to become fluent in Norwegian. Okay, everybody, that's all for now. You've been watching must-know expressions for agreeing and disagreeing in Norwegian. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and go to norwegianclass101.com for more. See you again next week. Vi ses neste uke. Ha det bra.
You are at a train station where you're attempting to buy an express ticket from a ticket machine. Which option should you choose to buy an express ticket? Which option should you choose to buy an express ticket? The option on the bottom left is for an express train.
Hurtigtog.
You are at a train station where you've just bought an express ticket. Which train car, row, and seat number are you in? Which train car, row, and seat number are you in? The ticket says that you're in train car number 1 in the 8th row in seat C.
Vogn 1, rad 8, sete C.
You are at a train station where you're reading the train schedule for an express ticket that you've just bought. On which days are there no express trains running? On which days are there no express trains running? There are no express trains running on public holidays and the 3rd Sunday of every month.
Helligdager, tredje søndag hver måned.
You are on a platform at a train station where you're waiting for your train. Suddenly, a message appears on the display. What does the message on the display mean? What does the message on the display mean? The display reads, "Passing train."
Passerende tog.
You are at a train station where you're looking for the best exit to catch a taxi. Which exit should you take to get to the taxi rank? Which exit should you take to get to the taxi rank? You should take the east exit in order to get to the taxi rank.
Utgang mot øst.
Want to speak real Norwegian from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at norwegianclass101.com.
Ei kvinne spør en ekspeditør noe på en bokhandel. Hvilken bok har kvinnen lyst til å se? Unnskyld, jeg vil gjerne se på ei bok på denne hylla.
Hvilken bok vil du ha?
Den om biler.
Et øyeblikk. Denne?
Ja, det er den.
Vær så god.
Hvilken bok har kvinnen lyst til å se? Ei kvinne spør en ekspeditør noe på en bokhandel. Hvilken bok har kvinnen lyst til å se? Unnskyld, jeg vil gjerne se på ei bok på denne hylla.
Hvilken bok vil du ha?
Den om biler.
Et øyeblikk. Denne?
Ja, det er den.
Vær så god.
En mann og ei kvinne ser på en meny på en restaurant. Hva skal mannen bestille?
Hva skal du bestille?
Pizzaen ser deilig ut. Jeg tror jeg tar den.
Jeg hadde pizza i går, så…
Ok da. Hva med hamburgeren?
Høres bra ut. Jeg tar den.
Hva skal mannen bestille? En mann og ei kvinne ser på en meny på en restaurant. Hva skal mannen bestille?
Hva skal du bestille?
Pizzaen ser deilig ut. Jeg tror jeg tar den.
Jeg hadde pizza i går, så…
Ok da. Hva med hamburgeren?
Høres bra ut. Jeg tar den.
En mann ringer legekontoret. Når må han være på legekontoret? Hei, hvordan kan jeg hjelpe deg?
Når stenger dere i dag?
Vi stenger 6, men vennligst kom før 5:30.
Ok, takk skal du ha.
Når må han være på legekontoret? En mann ringer legekontoret. Når må han være på legekontoret? Hei, hvordan kan jeg hjelpe deg?
Når stenger dere i dag?
Vi stenger 6, men vennligst kom før 5:30.
Ok, takk skal du ha.
En gutt leser fra dagboka si. Hva var den første tingen gutten gjorde i dag?
Været var bra i dag. Jeg svømte i svømmehallen om ettermiddagen, og jeg gikk på kino om kvelden. Jeg studerte hele morgenen også. I dag var ikke så verst.
Hva var den første tingen gutten gjorde i dag? En gutt leser fra dagboka si. Hva var den første tingen gutten gjorde i dag?
Været var bra i dag. Jeg svømte i svømmehallen om ettermiddagen, og jeg gikk på kino om kvelden. Jeg studerte hele morgenen også. I dag var ikke så verst.
Ei kvinne og en mann ser på et bilde. Hvilket bilde ser de på? Dette er et bilde av fotballaget sønnen din er på, ikke sant? Hvem er sønnen din?
Han her.
Å, han er den høyeste.
Jepp, han er til og med høyere enn meg.
Hvilket bilde ser de på? Ei kvinne og en mann ser på et bilde. Hvilket bilde ser de på? Dette er et bilde av fotballaget sønnen din er på, ikke sant? Hvem er sønnen din?
Han her.
Å, han er den høyeste.
Jepp, han er til og med høyere enn meg.
Jeg heter Nora. Hyggelig å møte dere. Hi, I'm Nora. Nice to meet you. In this series, we're going to learn basic Norwegian expressions. It's super easy and it only takes 3 minutes. In this lesson, you're going to learn how to introduce yourself in Norwegian. You only need to know 2 sentences. Let's see how Norwegian people introduce themselves. Hei, jeg heter Nora. Hyggelig å møte deg. Hi, I'm Nora. Nice to meet you. Hei, jeg heter Nora. Hyggelig å møte deg. Start by saying, Hei, jeg heter. Then say your name. Hei, jeg heter Nora. Finally, say, hyggelig å møte deg. Hei, jeg heter Nora. Hyggelig å møte deg. And now, let's see the same sentence in a different format. Hallo, jeg heter Nora. Hyggelig. Hello, my name is Nora. Nice to meet you. Hallo, jeg heter Nora. Hyggelig. So, what has changed from the previous introduction? Let's take a close look at these together. Hei has been substituted with an alternative greeting, hallo, Norwegian for hello. In a formal setting, you would say your full name, but it is better to just use your first name when being introduced to new friends. Hyggelig å møte deg has been shortened to just hyggelig. When meeting someone in a formal context, for instance at work, hyggelig å møte deg would be the most appropriate greeting. When being introduced to new friends, hyggelig will do. One more time. One way to introduce yourself in Norwegian is Hei, jeg heter Nora. Hyggelig å møte deg. An alternative way to introduce yourself is Hallo, jeg heter Nora. Hyggelig. Now it's time for Nora's insights. When you introduce yourself, it's a good habit to shake hands in Norway. While hyggelig å møte deg is slightly more formal than just hyggelig, you don't need to worry too much about which one you use. If you use one of these sentences with Norwegian people, they're definitely going to be impressed. In the last lesson, we learned how to introduce ourselves in Norwegian. In this lesson, we're going to learn how to use good manners as we thank people. Er dere klare? Are you ready? La oss begynne. So let's start. There are several ways to thank someone. Let's start with the easiest. It is just one word. Takk. Takk. Takk means thank you. When saying thank you very much, you just need to add tusen at the beginning. Tusen takk. Tusen takk. Tusen means 1,000. So, tusen takk is like saying 1,000 thanks. During the last lesson, we didn't really mention anything about formality in speech in Norwegian. However, there are some subtle differences in how you will be perceived by others. Takk is a casual way to thank someone. Tusen takk expresses more gratitude and is thus more formal. A longer and more formal phrase which expresses a lot of gratitude would be Tusen takk, så hyggelig av deg. Here we have just added så hyggelig av deg, which means how nice of you. Tusen takk, så hyggelig av deg. But how do you answer these expressions of gratitude? It's easy. There are basically two different ways to do it. The first is vel bekomme. Vel bekomme. Vel bekomme literally means you are welcome. The other way to say you are welcome is the expression bare hyggelig. Bare hyggelig. Literally, this phrase means it's my pleasure or with pleasure, but it is the most common and polite way to respond to someone thanking you. So when someone is saying takk to you, you can simply reply with vel bekomme or bare hyggelig. Now it's time for Nora's insights. If you're not sure about whether to use takk or tusen takk, keeping it simple is always your safest bet. You don't have to worry about formal or informal situations. Takk can be used with just about anyone, anywhere, and at any time. In the last lesson, we learned how to be grateful to people by saying takk. In this lesson, we learned some of the most common greetings used in Norway. Er dere klare? Are you ready? La oss begynne! So let's start. The most used informal greeting is hei. Hei. Hei means hi. We use it when we meet people. We can use this greeting with anyone. But it isn't the only way to greet someone. We also have hallo. Hallo, which means hello. And more time-specific greetings like god dag. God dag. Literally, god dag means good day. As a rule of thumb, we can use god dag only during the daytime, from morning until evening. During the evening, we say god kveld. God kveld. Kveld is Norwegian for evening. So, god kveld means good evening. Finally, in the mornings we say god morgen. God morgen, which means good morning. God dag, god kveld, and god morgen are used when we meet someone, but when we leave, we don't say them again. When parting ways for a long time, we usually say ha det bra. Ha det bra. Ha det bra means be well, but translates best as goodbye. Finally, in Norwegian, we have an expression meaning see you soon. Ses. Ses. Now you can greet people in many different ways in Norwegian. Let's review them all again. When meeting friends or someone we don't know, hei or hallo. When leaving, we say ha det bra. When leaving but want to imply see you soon, we say ses. It's easy, isn't it? Now it's time for Nora's insights. In formal situations, Norwegian people commonly greet each other by shaking hands. However, if we meet someone we are very friendly with, it's common to give hugs. Don't be afraid to try it out with your Norwegian friends. In the last lesson, we learned the most common forms of greetings in Norwegian. Do you remember them? In this lesson, we're going to learn a very useful phrase. Do you speak English? If you find yourself in a situation where you need assistance in English, this phrase can be a lifesaver. And because you're asking it in Norwegian, you can be sure that everyone will understand what you're saying, even if their answer is no. Here's the most common way to say it. Snakker du engelsk? Snakker du engelsk? Norwegian is a pretty straightforward language. We conjugate verbs based on time, which means we have past, present, and infinitive. The question, snakker du engelsk, translates as, are you speaking English? The verb snakker, to speak, is in the present tense. The second word in the sentence, du, simply means you. And you probably recognize engelsk to be English. Snakker du engelsk? To learn how to properly conjugate verbs like snakker, please check out our Absolute Beginner series on NorwegianClass101.com. You can find very detailed grammar lessons and resources there. Like English, there are many ways to ask this question. Let's look at another one, also pretty similar to English. Kan du snakke engelsk? It's literally the equivalent of can you speak English? Kan du snakke engelsk? Adding unnskyld, excuse me, to the sentence would make it unnskyld, kan du snakke engelsk? Unnskyld, kan du snakke engelsk? The responses you will receive could be one of these three. Ja, yes, ja. Litt, a little, litt. Nei, jeg kan ikke snakke engelsk. No, I can't speak English. Nei, jeg kan ikke snakke engelsk. Since this last one is a negative statement, we need to say ikke before the verb snakke. Notice also that the verb snakke is slightly different than snakker. Remember, the verb changes depending on the time it is in. We are now talking about the infinitive, since it is coupled with kan, which means can. Now it's time for Nora's insights. For those of you who don't just speak English, you can obviously use this question with any language you need. Norwegian people study other European languages at school, so maybe you will get lucky. Just substitute engelsk with italiensk for Italian, fransk for French, spansk for Spanish, tysk for German. In the last lesson, we learned the phrase unnskyld, kan du snakke engelsk? Excuse me, do you speak English? We mentioned the word unnskyld, which means excuse me in Norwegian. In this lesson, we're going to learn how to use unnskyld and other words when apologizing in Norwegian. We should use unnskyld in formal situations, such as when we are ordering something in bars or restaurants. For example, unnskyld, en kaffe takk. Excuse me, a coffee please. We can also use it when asking a question. Unnskyld, hvor er Frognerparken? Excuse me, where is the Vigeland Park? Sometimes we also hear people say beklager, which means the same thing when you want to apologize for a mistake. Beklager. Another common way to say excuse me is unnskyld. Unnskyld. Just like beklager, we can use unnskyld when apologizing for a mistake. You can also hear some Norwegians say sorry, which is a long word from English. It's often used as a quick apology amongst friends. All of these phrases can be used for either excuse me or I'm sorry. But if you really want to apologize for something, it might be better to use a longer phrase. That phrase is unnskyld, jeg er virkelig lei for det. It means excuse me, I am really sorry, and can be used in both formal and informal situations. Unnskyld, jeg er virkelig lei for det. First, we have the familiar unnskyld. Next, we insert the pronoun for I, jeg. Then which means am. This is followed by virkelig, which means really. Finally, we have the phrase lei for det, meaning sorry about it. Unnskyld, jeg er virkelig lei for det. Now it's time for Nora's insights. In Norway, if you accidentally bump into someone, you might not get any response. But to be polite, we either say unnskyld or beklager. It is also common to use the exclamation «Å» before apologizing. «Å, beklager».
When learning a new language, we sometimes have a hard time with things like procrastination, discouragement, or failure. But don't panic. With a good strategy, you'll be able to overcome these difficulties. Are you ready to discover the 4 habits of successful learners? Number 1. Optimize your time. When learning a language, it's important to dedicate time to your studies regularly, even if sometimes it's difficult. You're busy with school, work, family, or friends, but you can spread out your learning throughout the day. Study whenever you have small gaps of time in your busy schedule. This can be when you're on the metro, on your lunch break, or while you're exercising. Our podcast learning format fits perfectly into your tight schedule. Number 2. Consistency with your chosen method. There are a lot of options when it comes to courses and learning materials. Switching from one method to another can confuse you and disrupt your progress. Focusing on one learning method will make a difference. Our method has been created and optimized by real teachers, so you can stick to it with confidence. Number 3. Use your language background. Many languages share some commonalities. You can find words that look or sound similar, or even share the same grammar structure. A little bit of language background will give you an edge while learning. Number 4. Study continuously. People are excited when they start learning a new language. The enthusiasm usually lasts until the first roadblock. This can lead to discouragement and procrastination. But don't burn yourself out. Learning a language is a marathon, not a sprint. Don't try to learn it all at once. Break things down into more digestible chunks. Learning step by step might feel slow, but it's an efficient way to learn a language. With patience, motivation, and good resources, you'll master the language. Remember, you can't learn a language overnight, but with motivation and these daily lessons, you'll be on the road to fluency. Give it a try now. Sign up for your account. Just click the link in the description.
Top 10 phrases you'll need for a date. So let's get started. Har du lyst til å gå ut og spise middag med meg? Har du lyst til å gå ut og spise middag med meg? Would you like to go out to dinner with me? Har du lyst å gå ut og spise middag med meg? Would you like to go out to dinner with me? In Norway, it's quite common to eat dinner at home. So you might instead get invited to go home to somebody for dinner. So don't get surprised if somebody asks you home for dinner. Er du ledig I helgen? Er du ledig I helgen? Are you free this weekend? Er du ledig I helgen? Are you free this weekend? Norwegians usually have quite a lot of spare time, so they like to ask, not that specifically, it's not like, are you free on Saturday? It's like, are you free this weekend? Then it gives the person more time to think about like when they would be available to hang out. So this can be used with both friends or for dates as well. Har du lyst til å henge med meg? Har du lyst til å henge med meg? Would you like to hang out with me? Har du lyst til å henge med meg? Would you like to hang out with me? This again you can use with friends or somebody you're more interested in. In Norway, we don't have a very clear point in time where people stop being friends and begin being in a relationship. So these kind of vague phrases is very common. Du så søt. Du så søt. You're so cute. Du så søt. You are so cute. This is maybe a phrase that guys would say to girls rather than the other way around. But on the other hand, it's not that common to call girls cute in Norway. Maybe you would go for something else like cool, kul, or pen, pretty. Du pen. You are pretty. Du kul. You are cool. Du ser bra ut. Du ser bra ut. You look great. Du ser bra ut. You look great. Yeah, this is a very useful phrase. You can use it both with friends or your special one. And this can be used both to your female friends and your male friends. Det var en flott kveld. Det var en flott kveld. That was a great evening. Det var en flott kveld. That was a great evening. This is also a phrase you can use very easily with friends or, yeah, anybody you had a good time with. Jeg ringer deg. Jeg ringer deg. I'll call you. Jeg ringer deg. I'll call you. Well, in some cases, if it hadn't been such a great evening, this might be an excuse to never talk again, so just be aware of that. If the night was successful, I think most people would probably ask when they would be able to meet again, like, oh, this has been a really nice evening, do you want to hang out again next week or something? But I'll call you. Maybe he won't. Jeg kan kjøre deg hjem. Jeg kan kjøre deg hjem. I'll drive you home. Jeg kan kjøre deg hjem. I'll drive you home. In Norway, taxis are quite expensive, so if you found somebody who is willing to drive you home, then you're lucky. If it's a good person, of course. Når skal vi møtes i morgen? Når skal vi møtes i morgen? What time shall we meet tomorrow? Når skal vi møtes i morgen? What time shall we meet tomorrow? As you might know, Norway has very short work hours. So even during the weekdays, it is easy to meet up after work. And since it's during the summer, it's usually light outside until very late. So you might want to go out in the nature, maybe do some barbecue or something. Anything is possible. Kan vi møtes igjen? Kan vi møtes igjen? Can I see you again? Kan vi møtes igjen? Can I see you again? Well, if somebody asks you this question, then you've probably made a good impression. Good job. 10 phrases to amaze a native speaker. Let's get started. Takk, men norsk faktisk ikke mitt morsmål. Thank you, but Norwegian is actually not my native tongue. Takk, men norsk faktisk ikke mitt morsmål. Thank you, but Norwegian is actually not my native tongue. In recent years, there's actually a lot of people who have different ethnical backgrounds, but who has been adopted. So even though people don't look Norwegian, they might actually be at a native level talking about the language. So never judge a book by its cover. Det tok meg bare 1 år for å bli flytende. It took me only 1 year to become fluent. Det tok meg bare 1 år å bli flytende. It took me only 1 year to become fluent. Especially if you know English or German or any other Western European language, then you're gonna find Norwegian quite easy to learn. Jeg vil snakke norsk som en nordmann innen 3 år. I want to speak Norwegian like a native in 3 years. Jeg vil snakke norsk som en nordmann innen 3 år. I want to speak Norwegian like a native in 3 years. You can do it. You can practice your Norwegian with us here at norwegianclass101.com. Jeg har lært norsk i 10 år. I've been learning Norwegian for 10 years. Jeg har lært norsk i 10 år. I've been learning Norwegian for 10 years. Well, yeah, if you study Norwegian for 10 years, I can guarantee you're gonna be very good. Jeg kan se norske filmer uten undertekster. I can watch Norwegian movies without subtitles. Jeg kan se norske filmer uten undertekster. I can watch Norwegian movies without subtitles. As you know, Norway is a very small country, so we don't produce that many movies. But there are some good ones out there, like Kon-Tiki, for instance, was nominated for Oscar a couple of years ago. And recent days, you have the Norwegian drama Skam, which is very popular, which I really recommend you guys to check out. Jeg kan huske rundt 50 nye norske ord om dagen. I can memorize around 50 new Norwegian words a day. Jeg kan huske rundt 50 nye norske ord om dagen. I can memorize around 50 new Norwegian words a day. Well, 50 words is quite impressive. If you can memorize 50 words a day, you're gonna be at native level in no time. Go for it! Bortsett fra å kunne norsk, kan jeg også snakke noen andre språk. Apart from knowing Norwegian, I can speak a few other languages as well. Bortsett fra å kunne norsk, kan jeg også snakke noen andre språk. Apart from knowing Norwegian, I can speak a few other languages as well. Did you know that Norwegian and Swedish and Danish are really, really similar? So just by learning Norwegian, you can actually learn 3 languages at once. That's pretty cool, right? Jeg forsto alt du sa. I completely understood everything you said. Jeg forsto alt du sa. I completely understood everything you said. Great! That means your Norwegian is improving, right? Keep it up. Jeg leser ofte norsk skjønnlitteratur. I often read Norwegian fiction. Jeg leser ofte norsk skjønnlitteratur. I often read Norwegian fiction. In the Scandinavian countries, we have a genre called krim, which is about kind of detective mystery novels that are really, really popular. You can check out, for instance, Varg Veum. He's a detective from my hometown. You can also check out Jon Nesbø, who's a very famous Norwegian writer, and his book, The Snowman, Snømannen, is gonna be made into a movie actually, so yeah, you should definitely check that one out. Jeg studerer norsk på universitetet. I study Norwegian at the university. Jeg studerer norsk på universitetet. I study Norwegian at the university. In Norway, we don't really judge people based on which university they study at. We judged based on which major people choose. So you can actually get into, for instance, Universitetet I Oslo, the university in Oslo, without having good grades if you choose an unpopular major.
Want to speed up your language learning? Take your very first lesson with us. You'll start speaking in minutes and master real conversations. Sign up for your free lifetime account. Just click the link in the description.